Okay, hi everyone, welcome back. And in this update, we are going to check out VeChain's price chart. And I'm gonna be honest with you, in like very short term at least, I'm not sure if I have good signs for you. So, in the interest of maybe cheer you up a little bit and soften the blow, let me tell you that overall, in my view, VeChain does actually look quite optimistic, and in the long term, starting from the highest high all the way back down here in April of 2021, about let's say 26 cents. In my view, we are having a correction structure on the downside, most likely a WXY in form of a double zigzag, and VeChain's chart is actually kind of unlike a lot of other altcoins charts. Why? Because back in this bull run in 2021, in VeChain, in my view, we actually got an ABC as opposed to a 5-wave, which happened in a lot of alts. So my primary scenario in VeChain says that we are probably having something like this. This is ABC up into wave W. This is correction for wave X, and followed by that, yes, we are going to have another move up into wave Y, but that move might be in form of, as opposed to an impulse, just an ABC zigzag. Now, are we going to say that all of this ABC zigzag is going to happen in the cycle? I'll be honest with you, I'm not really sure about that one. But I am here to tell you that we can at least count on this initial move up into our A-leg to happen in this cycle, and I do believe that we can easily take this important high for the first target, about 8 cents area, but I think we can actually go quite a bit higher than that. So let's just say in VeChain, by the end of this cycle, we can expect something like a 7 to 10x potentially move on the upside, which is definitely not that bad. Now, do we have some more signs indicating we're going to get a move up in the next couple of months? I think so. Yes, you see, we also talked about this sign in the previous update as well. When we got this move down, this actually happened way too fast, and in weekly time frame, as a result of this move happening way too fast, we created a very clear gap, which is right in here between 4.8 to about, let's say, 6 cents area. And in my view, gaps 95+% of the time are going to get filled. And the fact that this gap belongs to weekly charts, in my view, definitely adds like much more credibility to it. So I'm going to argue, again, this is yet another reason to be optimistic and count on a good move up in the midterm. Now, having said all that, in the short term, well, okay, now we get into what is going on in this area, and maybe it's best to go on 30-minute time frame. So, if you remember, the last time that we talked about VeChain, we were right around here, and the idea was that we want to see basically a good move up starting from these areas in order to take this important high, and that could actually make us say, you know what, maybe in VeChain, this is 1, this is 2, and was 6. Good move up into wave 3, 4, 5, which on a higher degree might be into this wave 3 correction for another move up into wave 5. I was like, okay, in the short term, if we get a move up, maybe we are actually going to go at that point according to this count. On the other hand, we said what we do not want to see is from these areas a continuation of the move down in order to take these lows, because at that point, at least bare minimum, the 1-2 scenario is not going to be in play. And even if you want to be pessimistic, well, okay, at that point you can say maybe, as opposed to an impulse off of the lows, we are just having the subwaves for an ABC zigzag. And well, unfortunately, the bearish sign that we did not want to see basically happened. So we weren't that lucky. And what happened next? After a period of consolidation, we got yet another move on the downside. Now, what is going on in the short term, and can you argue the bottom is in? I'm going to argue for probably 2-3 important reasons. You know what? Probably not. You see, let's go around here. If you want to say that in VeChain the bottom is in, then okay, let's not even consider from the highs in here. Let's just say from this point you need to be able to find a 5-wave down. And here's a question for you: how exactly are you able to find a 5-wave on the downside? I think our best shot at finding an impulse is if you say maybe this is like probably yes, 1, 2, and then wave 3 and 4 and 5. And on a lower degree, we can have the subwaves in here for our wave 3, correction for another move down into wave 5. And then let's just change the color of this one to yellow, okay? We can say maybe this orange 5 wave down is going to be on a higher degree into a wave 3 correction for 4, another move down into wave 5. So at best, it seems like that Elliot's wave suggests, you know what, maybe this move is going to continue just a little bit more on the downside. Can I force some structure suggesting the bottom is at? Maybe, yes. Here is how. You see, if you really want to test your luck, you can say that in VeChain, maybe this is ABC down into 1, correction for wave 2, ABC down into wave 3, correction for 4, and this is going to be our final ABC on the downside into our wave 5. And I guess fair enough, you can maybe say we are having like a very small overlapping of the waves, suggesting this is an expanding ending diagonal. Now, is this enough of a reason for us to be optimistic and bullish in VeChain? Generally, not only in VeChain, but in any other chart, I'm going to say absolutely not. You see, let's go around here. Here's the deal. If you want to be optimistic and you want to say, you know what, maybe we have hit our final low, then okay, find me off of the lowest low, maybe in this region, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave. This specific count is called an impulse. Rules for it are, we should not have overlapping of the waves between wave 2 and 4, and in any kind of 5 wave, our wave 3 should not be the smallest wave. And when it comes to the sub waves, okay, I think you know it if you are a regular viewer of the channel. We must be able to find 5 wave up into wave 1, 3, and 5. And for our wave 2 and 4, we can have different scenarios. Let's say, yeah, okay, ABC into wave 4 and a potential WXY structure into wave 2. Now, let's go on the live chart and see what is going on. And I think we can all basically agree that, you know what, at best, this is only and only 2 sets of 5 waves on the upside. So if you want to be optimistic, what you need to do is this. You need to be a bit more patient and wait and see, are we going to have something like this or not? Maybe a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which on a higher degree is going to be into this wave 3 and 4 and 5. Excuse me, my mouse is a bit glitchy. There we go. This wave 3 and 4 and 5 or not. If we get something like this, and especially in this move, if we manage to take this important previous major pivot high around, let's say 1.7 cents, you know what? Awesome sign. At that point, I'm going to be bullish as well and call this point potentially our final low. As long as we are not seeing this though in VeChain, you know what? Maybe this is going to be just a simple ABC zigzag. And pay attention, please. This is important. This scenario, this ABC zigzag will get confirmed if, God forbid, we get a move down from here and in it, we take the low of our B leg, because at that point, honestly, finding a 5 wave in here is going to be extraordinarily challenging, and you're probably going to be better off counting on a continuation of this move down in order to take the lowest low as well, and, well, unfortunately, maybe go quite a bit lower. Why do I say that? Because, you see, in terms of classic technical analysis, meaning supports and resistances, there was actually a solid reason for why right around this area I was still sort of kind of optimistic in VeChain in the short term, and it came down to a very important support region from daily time frame, somewhere around the 1.66 to about 1.7 cents region right in here. And I was like, well, okay, as long as we are staying above here, maybe we are going to have a good bounce back. However, it seems like that recently we want to get a break of this thing. But is this actually a confirmed break or not? Let's zoom in more and see what is going on. And if you want to say the region is broken, you need to see a candle close on daily time frame. So far, yep, check. Followed by that a pullback and then a continuation of the move down in order to take this important low. And fair enough, I guess right now we do not have the continuation phase, but we sure as hell are on our way up to have the pullback phase. So again, may I suggest be a bit patient. Now, the reason for why I said this move down can continue a little bit, it's actually because of this. You see, I do not believe that under this important support, we have actually a whole lot of strong supports until well, you might want to close your eyes because this is kind of going to hurt somewhere around 1.2 to about 1.3 cents region, meaning what? There is actually a chance that in VeChain, we may see something like a 20% move on the downside. Now, I want to make this absolutely 100% clear. If we end up getting something like this, a move on the downside in order to reach through about this area, you better believe that I am going to buy the dip big time because the risk to reward ratios at that point are going to be unbelievable. Let's say I am that lucky and I want to buy VeChain right around the 1.2 cents region. Question, what is going to be my stop loss? Even if I want to be like extremely conservative, I'll be honest, I don't really think this is going to happen, but humor me a little bit. We want to be extremely conservative and put our stop somewhere around, let's say, half a cent. That is like an extremely unlikely price level to reach, but again, we want to play it very defensive. So I'm essentially having about a 0.7 of a cent in terms of a stop loss. On the other hand, what's my target going to be? Well, I told you for the next couple of months, bare minimum, I told you earlier, I'm expecting VeChain to at least reach to about this level from December of 2024, basically a year ago, which is somewhere around, let's say, 8.2 cents area. So essentially, I'm having a 7 cents target, but on the other hand, a 0.7 of a cent teeny tiny stop loss. And again, remember I said I even want to play the stop loss very safe. So this is actually like a really good stop. So essentially I'm having what? A risk to reward ratio of about 1 to 10. And I'm not really sure about you guys. For me, this is a fantastic mid to long term trade. That's why I'm actually a big fan of what is going on in VeChain. I mean, sure, do not get me wrong, in the short term, we don't really look good and things do not necessarily suggest that we are going to get a bounce in here. For now, at least, my base case is that we're just going to have a pullback and then possibly a continuation of the move down. But number one, nothing is guaranteed. And who knows, for all we know, maybe this is going to be our final low. And if I see something like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at that point, I'm actually going to lean towards the bullish count a little bit more. But I'm just saying this. If we get a move on the downside, and if you are at the same time a believer on VeChain and what is bringing to the table, well, okay, I think this should probably be for you and me a fantastic buying opportunity. Who knows, maybe even the last possible buying opportunity before we go up and have an insane bull run. And yes, I still believe on a good bull run, hopefully by the end of this cycle. So overall, the picture looks absolutely amazing. Do not get me wrong, but in the short term, if we get a move down, don't be surprised, don't be mad, maybe treat that as a decent buying opportunity. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in VeChain's chart. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.